And you're live. All right, this segment we're talking about NFL. The combine is actually happening. Combine's happening, and there's a lot of conversations out there that the coaches are having amongst themselves and the GMs and all these respective organizations. The conversation is still up on who's going to be the first pick. Let's be real. Like, do you take as a Bear fan, or as the Bears GM and coach and all that organization, do you take Caleb Williams? If I was ever in a position that the Bears are in, I'll be honest with you. There's no point in wasting another pick to get another quarterback. Like, you haven't even given Fields the opportunity to really sling it. Like, he's had two head coaches in the last 3 years, and each year he's had a different OC. Like, that is not the chemistry that you want to have in your locker room, especially in a quarterback room. So give that man something to work with. Trade. If I was the Bears, trade down. Put yourself in a position to get Marvin Harrison Jr., because that's going to be the outlet that you're going to need, and let Fields cook. Let Fields cook. So you might save yourself some money. Like you're probably going to have to pay Fields eventually if you're going to keep him. But there's no reason why you can't go get yourself another standout receiver to link up with more. So you're gonna have more, and then on one side, and you're gonna have Marvin Harrison Jr. and man, that's looking fresh. And if you can get yourself another pick within the same first round, get yourself another lineman, I think you would definitely be shoring that line. So yeah, man, there's a lot of good things that the Bears can be doing. I wish the Seahawks, if they're unable to obtain a quarterback, they would trade for Justin Fields, which is contradicting what I just said for the Bears. But I'm a Seahawks fan. I'm going to look out for the Seahawks in this part of the conversation. I would love to have an opportunity to have a Justin Fields type. Like, we haven't seen that type of skill set since like Warren Moon. Oh yeah, I'm going back to Warren Moon, not Russell Wilson. Like, y'all think Russell Wilson was good. Warren Moon was a different level, and he was old when he got to Seattle. That's the type of, I think, arm strength you're gonna have with Fields, as well as elusiveness. There's other guys out there that would really look good in the pocket if you're just talking pocket. Like, you get Michael Penix. I think Penix would be great in the league. A lot of cats are saying Bo Nix. Bo Nix is great. He was great at Oregon. He played that college level like offense really well. It was a lot of Dunkin' Dines every once in a while. He'll throw it downfield. But no one threw it downfield more than Michael Penix. Michael Penix was a slanging that thing. Michael Penix also had a really good line. So maybe there's something to read into that. He had a good line. He had wide receivers. And then cats are saying, like, yo, they threw it way too many times. Boy, if you don't stop at that, they had 1,000-yard rusher. So get off the train in that line of thought when you're thinking that's all they did, because they definitely did more. If they didn't do more, they would have made it to the point where they almost won the whole entire thing. So that's the emphasis that I would put on when it comes to thinking about like the next quarterback and what that might look like. I would love to have Michael Penix as a Seahawks fan. I would love to have Justin Fields as a Seahawks fan. You know what, too? Like, it's not a bad idea to just keep Geno Smith and go get another lineman. Go get another guard, because we got two standout rookies on the outside. We are going to probably sign Damian Lewis as a Seahawks fan. Like, that's a good thing. Sign Damian Lewis. Let's not lose that cat. Like, we lost Steve Hutchinson a long time ago. And you remember Steve Hutchinson, if you're a Seahawks fan, if you're a Viking fan, if you're Adrian Peterson fan, you know Steve Hutchinson, because Steve Hutchinson changed the game for that running back crew. He made a lot of money for Sean Alexander and Adrian Peterson. So there's something to that, like getting another guard that would definitely help out a running game, something that we were clearly missing last year. It would help out our play action if we had a better line or better blocking scheme, or maybe just a different mindset in the offense. I would love it if we could just spread the field more. I think if look, as a Seahawks fan, again, I think we got like one of the best locker rooms in the conversation on the topic of wide receivers. Lockett, DK, JSN. I wish Noah Fant would get more looks. Like, I just felt like there was a lot of disconnect between the OC and what we're capable of. So from the standpoint of what the OC had, what the offensive coordinator had as weapons, he just wasn't implementing a strategy that utilizes the capabilities of the players. He was too concerned with his game plan and how those players would fit that. That is not what you do. Look at Andy Reid. Andy Reid, no matter who he had on the field, he would adjust to those players' skill sets. Like the whole offense that you saw, and a lot of people will be like, it's different. No, man, it is like the offense that he had with the Eagles versus what he has with the Chiefs. There's a lot of similarities, but I'll be real with you. It's clearly different. Like, yeah, he had Jackson, which is equivalent to Hill, but he never really had that like showboat type tight end. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't a thing. But and you look at like statistically speaking, like Kelsey throws down probably top 5 of all time when it comes to tight ends. There's something to read into that. Like he was willing to throw his pride aside, implement something different. And you know what I noticed too was like Andy Reid is really good changing the gameplay, the game script on like a game-to-game basis. There's plays that he pulled out that we haven't seen before, wasn't put in practice. He was implementing stuff that you saw from a high school team. Like a high school team did it, and he just thought like, we have the type of players to do that at our level. We should implement it and see what it will look like, see if it can get us a touch. And lo and behold, that's when you get like that little tight end shuffle that turns into a pass out of the backfield, like an easy touchdown pass for Patty Mahomes, a little shovel pass. Love that. I love that. That is one thing the Seahawks was lacking. We just didn't implement a scheme that fit the players more than the players fit the scheme. I hate that. I think that's a downfall. I'll be real with you. That is the downfall of Belichick. Belichick was so caught up in his own scheme and the Belichick way that players are like not into that. They don't want to be. It looks like they don't want to be there. It looks like there's not a lot of connection between him and the players. So he's not going to have a job. He's not getting a job. It's too late. He's not getting a job. He's going to probably be an analyst or a consultant or something. But I don't see him getting another job for a minute. Let's be real. Maybe he can be a defensive coordinator and go over to like the 49ers because they got rid of their defensive coach real quick. Maybe he can do that, but I don't see him being a head coach for a minute because there's such a huge disconnect between him and this new generation of players. Yeah, but this draft is going to be lit. There is a lot of talent in the first round. There's a lot of speed from all levels. Like these quarterbacks, like Pat Mahomes is probably looking at this combine and looking at the defensive linemen who are running. I think he already put on a comment out there about like, hey, don't show my clip of him doing a combine versus him running like his little shadow run versus a defensive tackle. Because Pat Mahomes, I mean, he's an athlete, but some of these defensive tackles are running like 4.5s. It's ridiculous. I like in high school, like I was tooting my horn and I ran a 4.35 or 4.38 or 4 consistent 4.4. And then you got like in my time, I remember Javon Curse ran like a 4.4 at one point before he did the combine, and he was 6'4" or 6'6" with the longest wingspan, the biggest hands at the time. And I was like, golly, that's why they called him the freak. And then you're looking at NFL presently. A lot of these edge guys are running 4.4s, 4.5s, 4.6, pretty fast, but dang, everybody's fast, everybody's strong. It's crazy the talent that is coming into the league now. It's crazy. So I think this is a blessing in disguise when it comes to this NIL, because it's really going to show forth the ones who are really exceptional. Because now you're going to see like based on who's getting like players are going to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Like the best ones are really going to get paid. I'm sorry to say it. You should have been paying the players. You should have came up with a level of payment that the schools controlled rather than just getting to this point where you get sued and now you got this NIL deal. You know, like NCAA messed up. Good, because y'all are corrupt as all hell. But go Hawks. I am happy that we hired this type of coach. We went from the oldest coach to the youngest coach. He did hire an offensive coordinator, I believe, that's older than him. Defensive coordinator that is a defensive minded person in a sense that he loves the trenches, which is something that McDonald loves doing. He loves building from the inside out. So you know what's going to happen? I can almost see that we're probably going to draft a lineman. It's either going to be a defensive lineman or it's going to be an offensive lineman, but we're probably going to build from the interior out. We already have look, the defense is set on the outside. If Woolen could just get his head out of his ass and make some tackles and stop trying to hand check people, he'd be all right. We're probably going to have to trade the president, El Presidente, because let's be real, that man can't stay healthy. Diggs getting old, but I think he's still worth it. He knows the scheme well, but too bad because we're going to have a new one. So it's not like we're going to lose anything if he gets traded and we save more money. The cap went up. So I think looking into free agents, there's going to be some players out there that can really reach out and have that realistic conversation. But more important than anything else, Leonard Williams has to get re-signed. He was probably on the tail end of things, probably the one that represented the defense more than anybody else. Bobby Wags is a great contributor. He is a field general. He's a field general that could probably teach a lot of other linebackers how to linebacker. Jordan Brooks is up and coming. Roquan Smith is out there. I wish we could have him, man. He would be. Oof. There's a lot of players out there that I wish we could have, but I think overall, the players that we have on defense, we're just missing we're missing realistically an edge rusher. We haven't had an edge rusher like Michael Bennett in a hot minute. It'd be nice if we had that. That would really set the stage to create some havoc. Because if you got players on the interior who are doing their job, right, and you got players on the outside, those DBs doing their job, it's only a matter of time before an interception, a sack happens. One of those two is going to have to happen because you can't have both without having the other. Offense, we have so much talent. It's ridiculous. We have so much talent, but the scheme just sucked. How do you have Walker III, probably arguably one of the most talented running backs in the league right now? If you don't think so, look at the tape. That dude does a lot with very little. Missing a line. We're missing a line. Smith is actually good. Geno Smith is actually really good if you give him the time of day and a different type of scheme. If you give him the time of day to sling it, he'll sling it. On the outside, you got JSN, pretty good slot receiver. Probably had the best hands last year out of the receiver crew that we had. Bobo, big body, but no one's bigger than DK. No one's bigger and stronger and faster on the field than DK. That is a talent on talent, and no one's wiser than Tyler Lockett. There's so much talent in the Seahawks, which is ridiculous. So I think this is going to be the year that we start messing around because I'll be real with you, the scheme has been so vanilla for so long that any sort of change is probably going to elevate us. So I can expect, from this draft, I'm hoping that, there's no reason to really go out there and go get another quarterback unless it is just that superior talent that in another year or two, they're going to be able to step into the limelight and really be that anchor that we need. But speaking of anchors, we probably need more interior linemen on offense and defense. So I'm going to get back to watching this combine and all the reviews and see what the Seahawks are saying. We've already had some conversations, I'm guessing, with some quarterbacks. Oh, man. But, if that Heisman quarterback falls down, look, Michael Penix could have won the Heisman. But another guy won the Heisman, and I believe we had a conversation with him today. The Seahawks organization did. And if y'all ain't watching John Snyder, he said, look, we're probably going to get the best player at the most important position. So there's something that, just think about that. I got my eye on some quarterbacks. But if there's a lineman out there that can change the landscape of how we do push-pull, how we do blocking schemes, that would be lovely too. That would really show forth the effort that we're really trying to, hold on to a scheme that's built by McDonald. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. I got to go pick up my daughter's deuces.